So the real happiness and joy will come from only when you find out your true self, who you are. My dear friends, love is the essence of all spiritual paths. Your ego can hide behind your pride. Being humble is not a weakness, it's actually a strength. If you're humble, you're going to learn everything in life. Hello, friends. I'm Nirmala from London. So, friends, today I'm going to share my learning from a book called Living with Himalayan Masters by Swami Rama. And this is an inspirational autobiography of Swami Rama. Not only an autobiography, but also his spiritual journey. And in this book, Swami Rama shares his experience with all the great sages, saints, and masters he met in Himalaya. And the book takes us on a journey through mountains filled with mysteries and profound spiritual wisdom and lessons of life and spirituality. Through his experiences, we can get a glimpse of this mysterious and powerful spiritual life which exists in Himalayas. Each chapter of this book takes into a new experience and a new talks about a new teacher. And every master he has met in Himalayas taught him, guided him, and tested him and helped him to grow spiritually. One thing I like about the book is actually book is written in very simple language, and it's a beautiful combination of good storytelling and also sharing of profound spiritual wisdom. It talks about philosophies of spirituality and also talks about practical spirituality as well. Swami Rama also talks about his challenges in his spiritual journey, um, moments of doubts, temptations, and hardships, battling of ego, and facing fears. So he was very honest in this book, and this honesty makes this book very real and relatable. Swami Rama says spirituality is not about running away from this world, it's about living in this world with balance and awareness. And when you finish reading this book, you will realize that Swami Rama not only emerges as a great student, but also as a great master. So I'm going to share my specific learnings. It's a very big book. There are so many things to share. Due to time constraints, what I've done is I've picked up some aspects of practical spirituality, which was very useful for my own spiritual journey. And I'm going to share some of my own experience in my journey. And I'm going to also share some of the learnings I had from Master Pradeep Vijay, which has been very useful for me as a seeker who's living in a modern world. So let's start from the bottom. Here, I'm gradually going to go through until this one, self-realization. So when you read first couple of chapters of this book, you realize that it talks about Swami Rama's early life, and it was very obvious that he became a seeker from a very young age. So he wanted to know the truth. So who is the seeker? Seeker is somebody who wants to know the real truth about the real existence in this world. So the questions like who am I? Where did I come from? Where am I going to go? What's the purpose of my life? What is life after death? What is my connection to the rest of the world, living and non-living beings? And what is my connection to the superpower? You can call it creation, creator, God, universe, you name it. Okay. So all his masters guided him to turn within inwards. My dear friends, you can read quite a lot books and increase your knowledge. You can meet many masters who can teach you, but unless otherwise you start a journey within yourself and experience something, you will not get the answers for all the questions which I raised as a seeker. So in this modern world, we chase fame, we chase success, we want money, we want approvals, but these are temporary things. We know that we have come here for a temporary experience of human experience. So the real happiness and joy will come from only when you find out your true self, who you are. So understanding that you are not this body, not your mind, you're a pure form of consciousness, and you're not your feelings, memory, or anything. Okay. Once you realize that you're a pure form of consciousness and you've come to this world for a human experience, and when you know the truth, life becomes a celebration. So you start to look at this life in a completely different way. You become calmer, you can become much more compassionate, and then you will learn to live in this world with awareness. Because journey you can give it to yourself is the journey within. Okay. If you want to start a journey within, the only way you can do is you have to choose a path of meditation. So when I looked at Swami Rama's teaching, the heart of his teaching is meditation, and the meditation comes on every chapter. But I couldn't work out what type of meditation technique he was using. So here I'm going to share my own experience of how I chose the right meditation technique for my own spiritual growth. So I started my spiritual journey 5 years ago. And like a lot of spiritual seekers, I was reading a lot and I'm following many gurus. And I was very curious. So Master Pradeep Vijay says that if you are in a spiritual journey, you have to be very curious. Okay. He talks about 5 E's. The first E is actually you always experiment. Okay. You don't have to follow somebody, you experiment and then you experience and then you express. Express means meet your fellow seekers and share your experience and learn from others. And then this will lead to enlightenment and then you evolve as a soul. So it's experiment, experience, express, enlighten, and evolvement. So spiritual seekers should understand these 5 E's throughout the journey. So while I was doing all this investigation, I tried a couple of techniques, meditation techniques, which is visualization, and then I got initiated into one of another meditation. And all of them, believe me, helped me. And I was growing spiritually as well. It helped me to calm down my mind. But then 18 months ago, I got introduced into the most simple and the powerful meditation technique by Master Pradeep Vijay, which is Anapanasati. So this is a simple and most powerful meditation technique you can use anywhere. You can sit on a bus, at home. All you do is sit comfortably, close your eyes and observe your breathing. Okay. So what is the difference between this particular Anapanasati meditation and my previous meditation technique? The other meditation techniques help me to calm down my thoughts, whereas Anapanasati meditation actually helped me to empty my mind. So, my dear friends, meditation is about emptying your mind. Okay, when you empty your mind, when you go to a thought-free stage, that's where the magic happens. You absorb all this cosmic energy. What is cosmic energy? Cosmic energy is the life force energy which we use on a day-to-day basis for eating, drinking, listening, thinking. For everything, we use this life force energy. So, science of meditation is about energy maximization. So if you want to maximize your energy, you meditate. Okay. I just want to go back and see why this meditation is actually helping me. I was doing my own investigation and learning from my master. This is the only meditation where you can go beyond your mind. Okay, the only thing which goes beyond your mind is your breath. So breath is the only thing which is happening in the moment. And that's why you are able to go into a thought-free stage. So in what way did this meditation help my life? I became very joyful within myself. Doesn't matter what happens around me, I live in this peaceful world inside. I go through emotions, but I will come out of it very quickly. And then I became more focused, my attention improved, my concentration improved, and I became much more efficient. And for the first time in my life, I managed to get my work-life balance. I work as a full-time doctor, so I'm working towards my retirement, and at last I got my work-life balance better. And I used to be an emotional roller coaster, and then I managed to get my emotional balance well as well. And I became much more intuitive as well. So if somebody asks me, so I started to follow my heart rather than brain because I used to be a very logically thinking person, being a doctor, mainly in my personal life. 5 years ago, if you would have asked me, what is your future? I would have said, I'm going to work until 70 because I enjoyed my job. But now I'm training myself to be a spiritual science teacher. This is actually, I'm following my heart, and I'm guided by my soul. But for me, the game changer was reduction in my sleep. So when you sleep, you also get cosmic energy, but the amount of cosmic energy you're going to get during your meditation is much more higher. I used to sleep for 8 hours, and now my sleep has come down to 5 hours. Sometimes I can get away with 4 hours, which means I'm left with 3 to 4 hours in my hand, which I'm using for my own spiritual journey. Okay, so my dear friends, this is called Gautama Buddha's living in spirituality, about golden middle path. So I'm doing several roles in my life. One is I'm a doctor, and then I've got personal roles as wife, a friend, and a sister, and also a daughter. And then I'm trying to do my spiritual work. So I'm trying to get the balance right. So this concept of golden middle path of Gautama Buddha was introduced to me by Master Pradeep Vijay, which means Gautama Buddha, he got enlightened practicing Anapanasati meditation, and then he realized after his enlightenment, true liberation cannot be obtained if you practice the extreme of life. So on one end of the line, you just live for pleasures, eating, drinking, and chasing money. And the other end, you starve yourself, you torture yourself, and you deprive of all the comforts in this world. That is the other extreme. So the important thing is actually you work in this modern world, you can practice spirituality, but you do 50-50%. So 50% of your time you spend on your materialistic life, on the 50% of your life you spend on spirituality. So be kind to yourself, be kind to others, lead a path of dharma, as Gautama Buddha says, and do your best and leave the rest. This is the motto which I learned from my master. So let's go to the other important aspect of this book is actually Swami Rama talks about living in the present moment, and I'm sure who have come to this session, the previous masters would have spoken to you. My dear friend, as humans, we always worry about past and future. We never think about the real moment, which is in the present moment. So living in the present moment means being mindfulness. Okay? Concentrate on the activity you're doing at this moment. So simple examples are eating mindfully. When the food is right in front of you, be grateful without any digitals, without speaking. You concentrate, eat slowly and munch your food and then eat. And if you're cooking, just do cooking. If you're having a shower, enjoy the water on your body and enjoy your shower. So which means you're concentrating on your breath and the action and the emotions of that particular moment. Now, as a doctor, over the last 20-30 years, I have actually trained myself to be multitasking. Multitasking, I'm beginning to understand it's a disaster. So, but in my logical thinking in the past, it makes sense. I'm doing so many things at the same time, which means I'm becoming very efficient. So that's very good evidence, masters. If you go and experiment, you will realize that in mindfulness, you will conserve energy, and you become much more efficient, and you will save time. In meditation, you're actually maximizing your energy, and in mindfulness, you're conserving energy. If you add both to your day-to-day practice, it will be transformed and you can lead a happy and healthy life. Even if you're not in a spiritual path, this would be helpful for you to reduce your stress level and lead a happy and healthy life. Now, Swami Rama also talks about the power of mind. Friends, your mind is so powerful that it's beyond imagination. But if you've trained your mind, it can be your best tool or it can be your worst enemy. It depends on how you are going to use this. Swami Rama describes the mind as a restless monkey jumping from one thought to another thought, uh, causing confusion and suffering. My understanding is actually mind is a bundle of thoughts, and we create around, not the mind creates around 50 to 70,000 thoughts per day, and most of these thoughts are recurrent thoughts. So when your mind create a thought, that becomes a emotion, and then its output is your speech and action. And positivity to your mind, that means your speech is going to be positive and your actions are going to be positive. And same way, if you add negativity to your mind, the outcome is going to be negative speech and negative action. So in a way, we are creating our own reality. So if you can control your mind through spiritual practices, which I'm going to go into detail, you can master your life. If you want to master your life, you master your mind. Swami Rama also talks about discipline. Now, discipline is a very key factor if you're on a spiritual journey. In simple words, my understanding is discipline is the ability to do the right thing even if you don't feel like doing it. For simple example is, I'm a morning person. I practice meditation every day. So I wake up in the morning. Sometimes I feel very tired and I don't want to get up from the bed, but I do get up from the bed because I know that's the right thing to do, because it's going to help my spiritual journey. It's going to be transforming my life. So I will get up. So that is discipline. The reason I'm talking about discipline is, if you want to go through a self transformation journey to go from here to here, you have to be disciplined. Swami Rama says that the first thing he learned from his master is self discipline. Now, I want to spend some time on this self transformation journey. What is self transformation? Self transformation is making some changes in your life so that you can become a better version of who you are today. Okay, it's about changing the way you think, feel, and act. It's like upgrading a mobile phone. So when there's a new mobile phone, we always run to buy a new mobile phone because it has better function. The same way, we can upgrade our mind and also our habits. So how do we do that? We have to nurture ourselves. So what are these nurturing spiritual practices? I learned from my master that first thing is actually you meditate every day and you practice mindfulness every day, every moment of your day, if you can. And you practice silence. The silence will increase your willpower because you're working hard not to talk, and you waste a lot of energy from your speaking. Silence will also conserve your energy. And the other thing is actually read about spiritual books. It is called Swadhyaya. So, reading spiritual book written by great spiritual masters will nurture your intellect. And then next thing is you take part in Swadhyaya and Sajjana Sangatyam, which is actually you just mingle with the social spiritual circles, not only to socialize but also to share your learning and learn from the others. Most important part of Sajjana Sangatyam is also Guru Sangatyam. So as a seeker who's living in this modern world, the concept of this guru disciple has changed. I understood that. Okay. So when I was reading this book, Swami Rama's relationship with the guru is magical. I think it's totally depend on faith, trust, and surrender. I think, but we are moving away from this guru disciple relationship to a modern thinking. So Master Pradeep Vijay says that actually when you start your spiritual journey, there are two gurus you will face in your life. The first guru is you are your first guru, your inner guru. Your sincerity is your inner guru, and your breath is your inner guru. When you are ready to learn, follow, and transform, the external guru will come into your life. You don't even have to go and search for your external guru because it's a destiny. He will come in search for you. So once you are really ready, then the guru will leave you, not because your journey ends, it's because the guru disciple relationships turn into a magical friendship and also a partnership. What a beautiful concept, isn't it? So one of the other spiritual practice which I start to learn, which gave me so much spiritual growth, is actually journaling. So journaling is a practice where before you go to bed, you write something which happened went very well in your life. So I think this will give us an opportunity to appreciate all the gifts we have been given by the universe. So you're going to be grateful. Okay. And then write down something which did not go very well on that day and do some reflection with regards to what is that you can do better if you face that situation in future? How can you handle it in a better way? Okay. So when I talk about Sajjana Sangatyam, Guru Sangatyam is very important when your Guru come into your life, which you have to do on a regular basis. Okay. Now Swami Rama also share some of his personal experience about overcoming fears, fear of darkness, fear of snakes, fear of failure, and fear of the unknown. Okay, friends, the fear is also something which is created by our mind. I think if you run away from it, it's going to grow bigger. And if you challenge it, and then if you face it, and then it's going to disappear. So if you consider the fear as a perception of your imagination, then it will lose its hold on you. Okay, the best way to deal with this fear is to face the fear. To face the fear, you need quite a lot of energy and also courage and willpower. So all the spiritual practices which I went through will help you to achieve that. In my life, when I started doing my spiritual, journaling activities, I realized my thought process were always about my future, not about my past. I never had dreams and I never had any thoughts about my past. When I was going through the spiritual journal activities, it came to me it was very clear that I'm very worried about my future. Okay. I don't trust my life for some reason. Then I linked it with some of the minor health problems I was having, like anxiety, irritable bowel syndrome. Then I was reading a great book written by a good author called Louise Hay, which talks about self-healing. And then I managed to identify this problem. I wrote some affirmation. I was able to come out of this um, health problem without any problems. And this was possible because of my journaling activity. Okay. Swami Rama also talks about love and compassion. This is the most touching part of the book. Um, my dear friends, love is the essence of all spiritual paths. So we are not talking about emotional love. We are talking about unconditional love, which happens without any reason and without any expectations. So many people confuse attachment with love. Attachment, you become very selfish, you become very possessive in your relationship. Sometimes you can misuse love and you can make love for your own pleasures. So attachment leads to bondage, whereas love leads to freedom. So if you want to free from attachment, you need to love and not as an emotion, but as a state of being. So I learned to accept a lot of people in my life without any judgment. I learned to listen to people without any judgment. And I learned to forgive people, even though it's hard, I learned to forgive. You should do the same. One of the recurrent themes of this book actually battling with ego. Swami Rama, when he was a young seeker, he felt that he learned everything. He was very proud of his spiritual experience and he was very proud of his knowledge. So one day when his master asked him to do some household chores, which is actually cleaning the bowl, he said, okay, I'm enlightened. I should not be doing this. And later on, he reflected that your ego can hide behind your pride. Okay, what is ego? When we attach a sense of I, that is ego. So ego is a self-created identity all of us have. Okay, it can be based on your thoughts, or it can be based on your achievements in your life, or it could be based on the roles you play in your life. Okay, ego is not a bad thing because when you're in the initial evolutionary stages of coming into this life, graduating from your animal kingdom to human kingdom, to survive for survival, to make sort of friendships and relationships and to achieve your goals, ego is good. But when you come into a spiritual journey, then you should let off your ego go. And being humble is not a weakness, it's actually a strength. If you're humble, you're going to learn everything in life. Simplicity and service is another core theme which came out of this book. Simple life means leading a life which is simple, clean, and clear. Okay. Being free of all unwanted worries and wants. Okay. Simplicity and service will go together. A simple person always has got a service mind. A person who's willing to help somebody is also very simple. Okay. So, how do you develop the attitude of service in your life in spirituality? So, as I said earlier, when you start to do journaling activities, you will start to recognize all the gifts in your life. You are going to be very grateful. Okay. And then, if you develop a mindset of abundance, which means I got the feeling of that I got everything. I'm so grateful I've got all these gifts. And then I got enough. Then you start to develop an attitude towards service. So, what is service? Service is something you do for somebody else for free with no expectation and which gives immense choice to you. So, I think there are two types of service. One is a physical service, and the other one is a spiritual service. In physical service, you can donate money, you can help somebody with clothing, and you can build a hospital or institution so that people can go and benefit from it. And then spiritual service is where you help somebody to further enhance in their spiritual journey. So it could be teaching meditation, or it could be leading on a Sajjana Sangatyam, or supporting a genuine spiritual organization. Now, physical service is good, but you are going to make somebody dependent on you, whereas spiritual service is considered as the highest form of service because you're empowering somebody to progress on their spiritual journey to be enlightened. So, my dear friends, after reading all the chapters in this book, I came to one conclusion because Swami Rama's all teachings and experiences is leading to one ultimate truth, which is self realization. What is self realization? Again, it's about understanding we are not this body, we are not this mind, we are not our feeling, we are not our emotions, and we are not our memories. We are a pure form of consciousness, we are eternal being, and we are energy being, and there's no death for us. This is a temporary world we are living in. When we vacate our body, we don't die, but we go back home. So Swami Rama clearly says, you are the architect of your destiny, and you are the master of your mind, and you create your own reality. So this is the ultimate realization of every spiritual path. So once you understand this, your life become a huge celebration because you know the truth. You become a witness. Whatever happens around you, you become a witness and you enjoy it as well. So if you ask me, Masters, what is the one take-off message from this book, I would say Himalayan mountains are within all of us. It represents the highest state of awareness all of us can reach simply by turning inwards through meditation and discipline. Gautama Buddha says, Apo Dipo Bhava, which means you have to be your own light. Nobody is going to grant you self realization. It's something you have to realize. You have to be sincere. Even a guru cannot help you if you're not sincere. So, my dear friends, let's not admire masters of mountains. Let's learn ourselves to be masters ourselves. Thank you. I can take some questions.
Thank you so much, Nirmala
Hello,
ji.
Deepa.
The question is that you said that unconditional love and emotional love. So, what is emotional love? That term I didn't understand well actually.
Okay. So, emotional love is something with attachment. So, when I said, with attachment. So, when I was explaining about attachment, actually, when you become emotional, you try to control people in your relationship. So, you use your love for your own benefit. You become very self centered. Okay. All that lead to bondage and misery. And your relationships are actually get affected because of that. So I think the learning from there is actually basically you learn to accept people the way they are with their strengths and difficulties. That's my understanding.
That means no expectation in
No
relationship. That is,
expectations. Yeah.
yeah. Okay. Thank you, Nirmala ji. Thank you.